Hi there, I'm Aki from Aki Gaming, and welcome to another episode of My Waifu or Husbando is Better Than Yours. Each episode, we will be putting two heroes into the spotlight and see who reigns supreme over the other. First, they will be judged by all of their attributes, which includes their stats, weapons, skills, etc. Then, we will put them into a battle simulator to see who's the better one when head-on. Not only that, we will be also giving them their best possible skill build and put them into the ultimate mass battle showdown to see who will be crowned the winner of My Waifu or Husbando is Better Than Yours. Let's not wait any longer and introduce our contestants. Standing on the left corner, the son of Hollywood, the childhood best friend of Lilina, the young lion, Roy. And standing on the right corner, the brave young warrior from Ram Village, has a brand mark on his left hand. The hero of prophecy, Wait, what is happening? And there you go, Binding Blade versus Falchion, enemy face versus player face, young boy versus not so young boy. Who shall be crowned the best husbando? Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to rumble? Round 1, stats and skills. Let's start with their base stats total. Roy has a BST of 158, and Arm's BST is also 158. It's a draw. What about their rating after weapon and skills? Roy's total rating is 174. And Arm is 177, 1 point to Arm. Next is their hit points. Roy has 44 HP and Arm has 45, another point to Arm. Let's look at their base attack now. Roy's attack is 30 and Arm is 33, hat-trick to Arm. What about their speed? Who is the faster unit among the two? Roy has a speed of 31 and Arm has 30. Roy finally got his first point. Now, let's look at their defense. Roy has 25 points in defense and Arm has 28. Arm scores 1 back. Last, their resistance to magical damage. Roy has a resistance of 28 and Arm has 22. Another point to Roy. After looking at the stats, Arm is leading with 2 points, but the match is far from over. Roy still has every chance to make a comeback. Next, let's look at their weapon. Roy wields the legendary Binding Blade. It has a might of 16 and grants him a +2 defense resistance during combat when defending. With the new update, Binding Blade finally could be refined to gain effectiveness against Dragon. It also grants him a +4 defense resistance when defending, and a choice of either gaining an additional ability to make a guaranteed follow-up attack when HP is higher than 50% when defending, or boosts his stats. As for Arm, he wields the legendary Falchion that has a might of 16. Not only that, it's effective against dragons and recovers 10 HP every 2 turns. Same as Roy's weapon, Arm's Falchion could be refined to allow him to attack twice when his HP is 100% but takes 5 damage after combat, or boosts one of his stats. So, whose weapon is better? It's a tough pick to be honest. Arguably the two strongest anti-dragon weapon in the game, with one specializing in taking down foes in player phase and the other during enemy phase. I think the best outcome from this would be a draw. Moving on, we won't be comparing their special and assist since one of them doesn't have it. However, we will still go through it for your knowledge. Roy has Shove, an assist that pushes an adjacent ally 1 space further away from him. To be honest, any one of you out there uses this special? Leave a comment below. And for Arm, he has Draconic Aura, a special that grants +30% to attack with a cooldown of 3. Next, there are passives. Let's start with passive A. Roy has Triangle Adapt, a passive that grants attack +20% if weapon triangle advantage, and attack minus 20% if disadvantage. What about Arm? He has attack plus 3, a simple yet effective passive that increases attack by 3. Whose A skill is better? By referring to Game 8, Triangle Adapt is better than attack plus 3. So this point goes to Roy. Last, let's compare their passive in B. Roy has Seal Defense that inflicts a minus 7 defense to foes after combat, and Arm has Wind Sweep. If he initiates attack, no follow-up attack occurs, and if against foe with sword, lance, axe, bow or dagger, if unit speed is higher than foe speed by 1, foe can't counter-attack. So, who will take home the last point? Once again, by referring to Game 8, Seal Defense is rated lower than Wind Sweep. Hence, the last point goes to Arm. And that's the end to round 1. With a score of 3 against 5, the winner of first round is Arm! A difference of only 2 points. Will our boy be able to perform better in the next round? Let's find out in round 2, head-on fight. For this segment, I'm going to use the FEH damage calculator by Krandu. First, we are just going to let them brawl with their default skills and IV with no buff. Let's have a look at the result. It seems no one gets to 1 round KO their opponent. However, whoever attacked first will get KO in the following turn. But since there's no clear winner in 1 round of combat, it's a draw for the default fight. How about we give them some skill inheritance? For your information, the build that will be shown might not be the best build for them, but is optimized for higher kill counts. For Roy, Refined QR Binding Blade, Distant Counter, Guard, Moonbow, and an Attack Seal. For Arm, Brave Falchion, Life and Death, Quick Repose, Moonbow, and an Attack Seal. And the result? Arm gets to KO Roy in both phases thanks to his incredibly high attack. But wait a sec, does this mean that Roy has no chance of beating Arm at all? Not really. The easiest solution would be giving him a deflect melee seal. Not only he will be able to reduce Arm's damage on both phases, he could even take him down while defending. And of course you could bulk Roy up further by giving him close defense in slot A, etc. There's various builds that both Roy and Arm could take each other down, but there's no one clear build that stands above the rest. To make things interesting, shall we consider round 2 to be a tie? Speaking about tie,
guess those ties. Guess those ties.
ねえねえ大将、あんたただものじゃないって感じするよね。
Before we proceed to the final segment, let's look back at the results so far. Arm has 1 win, 1 draw compared to Roy with 0 win. It seems our boy would have to win the last round to equalize the final result. Would he be able to do it? Let's find out in round 3, Mass Battle. For this segment, we will be using the same damage calculator as round 2 to calculate how effective are they against all the other heroes. Instead of looking at only their kills, we are going to consider their draws and losses too, and the result will be in the form of percentage. Here's the formula. First, we will calculate the result with their default build. And Roy draws 77, loses 99, and wins 62. What about Arm? He draws 78, loses 81, and wins 78. As mentioned earlier, let's convert it to percentage. And Arm has the higher rate of 49.2, a 7% more than Roy. Next, let's look at the result when defending. Roy draws 62, loses 88, and wins 88. On the other hand, Arm draws 80, loses 62, and wins 96. After conversion, Arm still leading with 57.1% compared to Roy's 50%. Hence, the default fight goes to Arm. Now, let's look at the result after inheriting skills. Roy draws 7, loses 57, and wins 174. As for Arm, he draws 0, loses 23, and wins 215. Let's change it to percentage. has the higher rate of 90.3% compared to Roy with 74.6. What if enemy attacked first? Would the result be the same? And this time, Roy draws 6, loses 34, and wins 198. How about He draws 15, loses 30, and wins 193. After conversion, Roy's kill rate is 0.3% higher than But if you average out both faces, clearly is better than Roy. It's a complete victory to in the last round. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to announce the winner of this episode. My Waifu or Husbando is better than yours is... I'm a little surprised with the result, to be honest. I was expecting Roy to do a lot better than when defending. However, the outcome shows otherwise. Being able to hit twice with that much of attack is really devastating. But that doesn't mean Young Lion is a bad unit. He's extremely useful in the current meta, where you see dragons roaming everywhere. And not to forget, it's so much easier to obtain Roy than now, as he's available in 3-star and 4-star, compared to the Hero of Prophecy, which is locked at 5-star. So, what's your thought on the result? Who do you think should have been a better Husbando? Let's discuss. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Aki Gaming for more interesting content like this. You could also leave a comment below to suggest who would you like to feature in a future episode. Thank you for watching and hope to see you on the next episode of My Waifu or Husbando is better than yours.